on the flip side, I wouldn't say that there's a perfect life because when we heal things, it's not that it goes away. It's not that it just didn't happen or that we're just over it. The things we go through, we will carry with us, realizing that I am separate than my anxiety. I have anxiety. I am not my anxiety.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Bianca B, and welcome to the Bianca B Show, where we talk about business, finances, and friendships. You guys know I love my life coaches, and I'm all about transformation and just getting your mind and mental ready, especially for this upcoming year with your business, with executing in your business, and talking to experts who are really great at what they do. And Brittni, she is a transformational life and business coach. She is all about getting you there. And I'm super, super excited to speak with her today. Brittni, how are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so good. So good to be here.
Yes, thank you. So I love to start each episode with a icebreaker question. What's one book, podcast, or resource that has had a major impact on your personal or professional growth?
Ooh. I'm a book person. I would say I recently read The Big Leap, and
Oh,
I am blanking on the author, but it has a little goldfish leaping on the cover, and it is so profound about going past like upper limits and really taking a look at like the limitlessness that we all are. And I just really, really enjoyed it and would recommend that book.
so kind of tell us a little bit of your backstory of how you became a coach.
Yeah, so it's funny because I completely had no idea what the coaching industry was until I just stumbled into it. I grew up extremely career oriented and very self motivated. And with that came a high level of perfectionism and severe anxiety that kind of shaped my youth and young adulthood to the point where I was just go, go, go and in pure hustle mode. And then in 2020, just like the rest of the world, when everything slowed down and stopped, I, for the first time in my memory, was also able to just hit pause and really reevaluate, what am I doing? What do I want? Where am I going? And that was the year that I started my first online business. And I fell in love with entrepreneurship and creating for something I wanted to create, putting energy into something that I wanted to build. And while that business itself wasn't the end all be all, it was at the end of 2020 that I was listening to a business oriented podcast. And I heard this life coach speaking. And everything that she's talking about was about getting to the root of what the problem is, not just treating surface level things, not just bypassing, really healing in order to move forward, using the past to as stepping stones to your goals and where you want to go. And it just spoke to my soul. And it was in that next year, 2021, that I started studying life coaching techniques, and I went through my first certification program, and I just knew to my core that this is the epitome of what I've always wanted. It's a way of helping people while also empowering them and helping people to move forward and build a life that they want, building a life that they love. And it's just been the most rewarding, powerful journey since then.
I love how you had a problem and you immediately fixed it. You went about it the right way. And, we throw out these words anxiety, depression. How did you know that you had anxiety and how did you come up with certain methods to, handle that and take control of that?
It was when I was in my college years, I got to the point, and I'll rewind a little bit. I started dealing and going through anxiety probably around kindergarten or so, 5, 6 years of age. So it was started at a very, very young age. And because of this, I didn't ever realize it was separate from me. I thought that that was just how I was. So then fast forward to the point where I'm in college, and every single morning I would wake up and the first thing I would do is go throw up. My body was on such overdrive that as soon as I woke up, it would just start heaving. And because this was my only experience with my body, I thought that that was normal. Again, I just thought that was how I was wired. And it was a couple years later that I was just going about life, and everything externally was perfect. The job was great, the house was great, the relationship was great, everything externally looked like it should bring so much happiness and fulfillment and all these buzzwords. And I was struggling so much internally. And it just clicked that there is something not quite right here. There's something missing, or there's just some kind of a disconnect. There's no reason that everything externally should be this good on paper and I still feel this way and I'm still going through these thoughts and these struggles internally. It wasn't until I started studying life coaching in 2021 that I was actually able to start working with that anxiety. And the program that I studied through was a very internally, like inner and then outer type of methodology. I learned how to coach by coaching myself, being coached on by my peers, and coaching peers. So it was very experiential. And it was really working with different types of mindset, realizing that I am separate than my anxiety. I have anxiety, I am not my anxiety. And then doing kind of emotional mastery work, like inner child work, working with the little girl that was attached to perfectionism and that thought her output was her worth. And it was through different methodologies like that of really working with the energy itself in my body that I was able to start healing that in a really transformational way. In the first couple months of doing that work, I had taken my anxiety from maybe an 8 out of 10 when I was thriving to a 3 out of 4 out of 10 on my worst days. And it was that pure unlocking that really helped integrate and helped me embody that the energy, the anxiety, it can come and go. It will come and go. It's not linear, but it's something I can work with, not something I identify with. And that's kind of where it started.
Mm. I love that you talked about being a perfectionist. A lot of us, especially with social media, we want to be perfect. We want to put out the perfect video. We want to put out the perfect content. And what tips or advice you can give to young women out there or young men out there who have this perfectionist, goal in mind about putting themselves out there and putting their work out there?
I have two directions that I like to help people can take their perfectionism. The first is starting to embody this motto that done is better than perfect. Because when we're trying to create perfection, it's just prolonging the thing that you're creating. There is no such thing as perfect, and so we'll never actually get there. It's just it's a defense mechanism we create to try to make sure that our work is good enough, or that whatever we're creating is beyond reproach, things along those lines. And so it's really starting to work with this idea that doing it and getting something done, finishing it, putting it out there is better than it being perfect, because that won't happen. And then on a more long-term note, starting to dive into what is that perfectionism trying to help with? What does that perfectionist inside of you want for you? So with me, my perfectionist wanted, she very much values like responsibility. She wants to make sure that the work I put out there is is safe and valuable and helpful and is quote unquote good enough. When I could realize that that was her intention, then I can start working with those values and infusing them into work, to my work, making sure that I'm hitting those checklists, like, is this content valuable, is this a safe idea that I'm putting out there, is this helpful to the community. And when I can make sure that those values are being met in ways that still allow me to move forward, then I'm meeting the needs of the perfectionist without catering to it. It's like the perfectionist gets to be in the car, but she's not in the driver's seat.
I love that quote. And so you also work with nonprofit Travel Through Trauma. And I want to talk about trauma because as someone who, it's been a year since I've been consistent with therapy and it's helped so much. And so kind of tell us a little bit about that nonprofit and where trauma comes within all of us. Kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, this nonprofit was started by an incredible human that I am so lucky to call one of my soul sisters, Asha Farasadi. And we created this curriculum that really helps people that have a history of trauma find and utilize mental health resources that help empower them to make a difference in their lives and in their communities moving forward. It's really powerful work, and it's been the greatest honor to be a part of it. So I work with them towards the tail end of our program, where I'm setting them up with like next steps and really helping them feel empowered with moving forward and helping them embody that confidence. And really, circling back to to the trauma, what people don't realize is that trauma is not always what we go through. It's how our inner body is responding to it. It's how we're processing it when it happens. So really, most everyone's going to have different layers of trauma, and there's big T trauma, there's little T trauma, there's a full spectrum. And it's something that as we go through life, it's important to find resources and find safe spaces to work with that on your timeline and on in places that work best for you. It's something that I have gone through myself. I've worked with therapists and coaches that have helped me work through and process things that I have gone through, and it's still something that's an always it's always a journey. There's never really an end. But really, what we have done with this program is we've combined the mental health work with traveling, because all of us on the team have found incredible freedom and empowerment and coming to our true selves through traveling, through doing solo traveling around the world, and really learning to build that resilience and build that authentic confidence. And so that's kind of something that we help bring to the world is how can you heal and grow and work with yourself while expanding your worldview, while seeing the world, and while utilizing travel as a tool to heal. And so that's kind of the overarching umbrella that we are working with. And it's just, like I said, it's just so rewarding and such incredible work that I'm so grateful to be a part of.
That's amazing. And how long is the program and when is the next one?
So we have an application process that we take clients in one at a time, and it's a 4-month program. So we have some licensed therapists that do weekly therapy sessions, and then we have a handful of coaches that have brought our different niches, including self defense coaching, financial coaching, life and wellness coaching. I bring life coaching. And there's like language classes. It's a really comprehensive program. I think I said it's 4 months long, and then it caps at the end with the travel.
So, do you feel like people can heal their trauma? Do you feel like you can
Mm.
heal your trauma? And do you feel like you can overcome and have a not a perfect life, but can you heal your trauma? Can you truly heal everything?
My biased belief is yes. And then I'm
Mhm.
going to put a little asterisk there, because what I really want people to hear is that it is not a one size fits all, and it is not linear, and it is not a timeline that you can force. So I do believe that anything can be healed. And it's important that you stay within your window of tolerance and that you are doing so in a way that feels really aligned to you. Finding mental health resources and people to work with that are aligned, that are within their scope, that are able to hold that space in a really true way. But I do believe that if that is something that you want, and if that is something that you want to see yourself on the other side of, just hold on to that. And sometimes it's a day by day, sometimes it's a minute by minute that we go through, but just keep going one step at a time, just one foot in front of the other, and just holding on to this belief that there is another side. There is the other side of the mountain that you're climbing. And on the flip side, I wouldn't say that there's a perfect life, because when we heal things, it's not that it goes away. It's not that it just didn't happen or that we're just over it. The things we go through, we will carry with us. But when we start the processing work and when we start integrating it and we work with those experiences, maybe it's that they get less heavy, or just sometimes they're less heavy, or we allow others to help us carry them. I just want it to be, yeah, I do want to make sure that I'm not putting out a bypassing message that it's going to be perfect if you do this work. But when you do heal and when you give yourself that time and dedication to processing it and working through it, there is a different way of living. There's a different way that your body will handle life. There's a different way that your body will utilize the energies within it.
And you do breath work, correct?
I do. I
I would
love
like
breath
to
work.
I know, I would like to end the podcast with breath work if you don't mind.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Mm.
I'll let you take the lead.
Oh, this is so, so, so good. Okay. So, for everyone listening that's going to participate, I just invite you to take a moment to just kind of settle into where you are, either sitting down with an upright spine, maybe laying down if that's where you're at. Just taking a moment to settle into your space. And we're going to do a 3-part breath for just a moment. And what that looks like is breathing into your belly, open mouth into the belly, another breath into the chest, and then out through the mouth. So it's in through the belly, in through the chest, out through the mouth. And we're just going to do that for maybe just 30 seconds. In through the belly, in through the chest, out through the mouth. And just keep on this pattern, really sinking in, letting your lungs expand, letting your chest expand. With every exhale, making it audible, giving that energy a push out. And here, if you want to build fire, you can go faster or breathe deeper. You can slow it down. Breathwork really is a journey for yourself.
That's
No,
good.
yeah, it's just so important to bring the oxygen into the body and work with it, but then
Mhm,
also just taking a few moments for yourself to just
mhm,
be, to just exist. We do so much in our life, but how often are you giving yourself the chance to be?
mm.
One of my favorite mentors has this quote that she said, there's do, and then there's be. And in life, we want the dance that's do.
I love that, I love that. Thank you so much, that was well needed. I didn't know I need to breathe like that, okay? Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. What can we expect from you for 2025? And where can people follow you?
Oh, I would love for you to come say hi over on my Instagram. It's Brittni.Cosgrove. Come say hi. I'd love to hear your takeaways. I'd love to hear if you tried the breath pattern or what you're creating this year. I am excited for 2025. I hold space that life's wild right now, but I do believe that when we stand in our power and when we stand in our truth and our authenticity, that's how we create an impact. And that's kind of my intention going into this year is focusing on self-empowerment. What are the things that I can do, that I can help people do, that are within our control, and helping people move forward with that sense of as much empowerment and peace and confidence and authenticity and all the other buzzwords I could keep going on about. I have a couple of creative ideas that will be coming out later this year, but as
Yes.
of right now, it's just full on empowerment and supporting of the communities out there.
I love that. Make sure you guys follow her. Make sure you guys follow us at Bianca B Show at It's Bianca B. Comment below if you did the breath work. That was really well needed. I've never done that with anyone on a show before, so that was amazing. I appreciate you, Brittni, and everything that you're doing. Kudos to you. We appreciate you. Have a good one.